Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strike Zone. It's Friday. We had a day of competition yesterday, which is really exciting. If you haven't seen, the wild card standings are updated on our nsahome.org webpage. Go to winter and then sports and bowling. So far, the program seems to be working with just a couple of wrinkles. So, want to talk about two things I've received a couple of questions on. The first one, dealing with lineups. Just again, to clarify some more thoughts into the interpretation of this. Those of you that are really familiar with bowling and know that subbing and lineup in order, a lot of it's predicated on the format that is involved. You've probably already seen that we use a little bit different format when we're playing duels than when we're playing in a tournament format. And because of that, we've landed on what is now in the manual and what I've been talking about with regards to your roster and lineup. So the question that came about in the last 24 hours is the question of when that lineup exchange should happen between coaches. And so I'm going to try to use an example we can all relate to. Let's think through the sport of baseball. In baseball, you have a pre-game coaches home plate meeting where the coaches walk on up to the home plate, umpires are there. And at that point, especially at the high school level, you more than likely don't know all the specifics of the opposing team's lineup. You don't know who's going to bat fourth, maybe don't know who's playing second base, etc. So we're going to kind of mirror that in the thought of bowling right now. With the way we structured these rules with the lineup and the order, remember you can change your order before the start of each game, and you can make changes to your lineup and to your order, whether it's a traditional game or Baker game, whether it's a duel, whether it's a tournament. But once that lineup has been submitted to that opposing coach, you can't make a change to your lineup. And so I want us to get into the thought process of before the game or right after a warm-up or practice session, if that's involved, depending on obviously the time of the competition. But so after practice, if that's going on, or before that next game, both coaches should get together real quick, exchange the lineup, and then that's that. You can't make a change. And that way we don't get into you're putting your player here in the slot A, I'm going to make this move, etc. That way it's done. And then we move on into the competition portion of that game. Okay, so just some clarity on that. The other thing I wanted to touch on briefly was vacant scores. I got a question, maybe two questions today about vacant scores, where those should go. So if you're not playing to a bowler strength of 5, maybe you have 4 bowlers. Again, you can change your lineup in your order before each game. So maybe you're going to put your vacant bowler slot in the, let's say, slot B, the second bowler. That 0 would then follow that bowler to slot B. So in a Baker game, if it's in the slot B and you have a vacant bowler there, then your second frame would be vacant and show zeros in the scores. And then likewise, the 7th frame would have a 0 in it as well. So that 0 follows wherever that vacant slot is. And that obviously is fluid, where it could change from maybe the first Baker game to the second Baker game. Maybe in the second Baker game, you move it to your vacant bowler was in the first spot. So anyway, just some clarity there. I wish you all a happy weekend, and we'll talk soon.